The journey of the entrepreneur is a profound and a wonderful journey.
You know, I didn't want to work for anyone else. I wanted to work for myself.
Hi, I'm Mike Caslin, your host for Veterans Playbook.
I'm hearing a lot of assets from your military experience.
I initially started Battlefish to help other veterans, to help other people.
It's battle fishing good.
This is a series about veteran entrepreneurs driven by their passion and purpose to create peace and prosperity for themselves and their community.
We just grew 20% in the last probably 3 months.
You've been heroes, national security heroes.
I've been mortared, I've been shot at.
Now it's time for you to become economic heroes. We're going to be using the Entrepreneur's Playbook, written by Professor Len Green, member of the Babson Business Hall of Fame, philanthropist, author, and serial entrepreneur.
Find a problem out there, solve it.
We want to ignite your passion and your social entrepreneur within.
Everywhere I went, you could never find this style of pizza anywhere.
Most people see an abandoned building as just waste. We see it as an opportunity.
Hi, I'm Mike Caslin, host of Veterans Playbook. I'm here with Nick Bezanson of Vacationland Distributors. Have we got a show for you? Nick, was there, if you look back, was there a why that you had really driving you and maybe drives you today?
Yeah, like I said, it was a calling. My family, my grandfather was a World War II Marine, my dad was in the Army, and my mom was in the Army. You know, I wanted to be a Marine, enlisted in the Marine Corps during college, and was a reservist for a couple of years. And then as soon as I graduated, I went to OCS to go be an officer. At the basic school, it's a 6-month finishing course for Marine lieutenants. They needed more pilots, and all my buddies who I went through OCS were pilots. And you know, looking back at my childhood, all I did was play with model planes and stuff, so it made sense, but I'd never thought that I could have that opportunity. Again, I think I was lucky in that I just had an affinity. I was kind of a natural to fly. And like when I think back about the calling, I think that was my path. My transition from the military, I did almost 12 years active duty, and I joined my reserve unit in Newburgh, New York, VMGR 452, the Yankees. And that really helped with my transition. So my last, I think, 5 or 6 years of service were with the reserves. I knew I needed that to help me get back into the civilian world. I don't think it would have been a lot harder for me if I had just left active duty, kind of cold turkey. I did the reserves. I went and got my MBA while I was in the reserves. I knew I needed that as well to help me transition, to give the wonderful people in HR something they understand. And it did open a lot of doors for me. That MBA also really solidified for me that I didn't want to work for anybody else at some point. It really opened my eyes. Running a business or starting something, whether it was getting into real estate or I didn't know what it was at the time, that was what was going to give me freedom and give me my opportunity to kind of have the life I wanted for me and my family.
So being a military spouse, he made sure I knew what I was getting into from day one.
We were very lucky that we had a common goal. Like even when we first started dating, that we always knew we wanted a family and we wanted to raise them here. So in that regard, I think we were lucky and fortunate. Not every couple probably has that, a single destination they want to go to. So we were always planning. You know, even when we were stationed in Okinawa, Japan for 3 years, it was always get back to Maine and how we do that. And really the last 3 years of active duty, we spent that whole time trying to figure out how to make it work, to move home, to raise the kids, to have a job and network. So every time we'd come home on leave, we were always looking at different neighborhoods, schools, all that stuff. You really have to, I think, prepare that far out in advance. You know, I think a lot of us in the military get to the end of our careers or the end of our service, and you get taps and that's it. And you don't spend enough time. And it's almost like a full-time job preparing to get out and get home.
Hardest part of the transition for me was relearning how to make friends. When we were in the military, active duty, we'd, every duty station, we'd arrive and I'd get a sheet of, several sheets of paper of these are the military families in your unit. So it was like, here are your friends for the next 3 years. And when we got out, I was very lonely for a little while. I wasn't expecting that because I'm outgoing and I like people, and it was really eye-opening to me and how much I had relied on that network for just all of my social life. So that was a transition for sure. Just sort of being mentally prepared for that shift in how does your social life change when you get out of the active duty military. That was a big deal, and I think being aware that that could be something, it might not be challenging for everyone, but something that could be challenging, knowing, just having a heads up.
Yeah, that was a lot.
Yeah.
Many entrepreneurs learn things the hard way. Increase your chances for business success. Len Green has over 40 years of experience advising thousands of winning entrepreneurs. He shares their inside secrets and proven strategies so you can learn it all before you launch your business. Based on his popular course at Babson College, the book reveals 18 down-to-earth principles and proven business tactics. Read the book and get online feedback from Len. Order today on Amazon or visit veteransplaybook.com.
We're back with Nick and Vacationland Distributors. We talked about it before, kind of the opportunity and niche. Like, how did you see it and jump on it?
It was really a gut feeling when my partner Jim presented the idea to me. We were finishing up our MBAs, and the brewing industry in Maine is quite prevalent. It was just blowing up, and it just seemed to make sense. It seemed like a good opportunity and a good way to tackle a problem maybe a little differently. And that was it. I just kind of felt it right in my gut. And went home, talked to my wife. We talked about it. And I walked into Jim's office a day or two later and just said, I want in. And he was looking for money, so I met that requirement. I was willing to sign a check and be crazy enough to jump in with 2 feet. So we started Vacationland. Jim reached out and signed Mangria, a fortified wine product, which is actually our first supplier partner. That's what we started with, and we just had 1.5 employees, a storage unit, and a van.
Storage unit with a cooler in the corner.
Yeah, that's how we started. It's ridiculous, Nothing matched the business plan that was created.
When I first came on here, I remember sitting with him at a bar and doing an interview. And that was the second interview, and then he brought me in. We didn't know each other very well for the first couple of years. And we went through a lot as the company evolved and changed and adding staff and going through other things with partners and all that stuff. That stuff made us stronger and better. Really, it took us a few years to respect each other and gain that appreciation for each other in this business. And I think like year 4, year 5, we were just clicking, and then ever since then, it's just like, attached to the hip. Pivoting from day one, it was like me and 2 other employees at the time. We had like 1 driver and 1 sales rep outside of me. When I came on, Nick was like, listen dude, you got 3 months to turn this thing around. And if we can't turn this thing around collectively, we're either gonna close or, I don't know what option B is.
His leap of faith and passion for this industry and like the risk he took to seek us out and commit to us, like just amazing. And he started killing it from day one for us. And then, shortly thereafter, he became an owner in the company.
What we offer that the big distributors don't is we are more locally focused and just a smaller independent breweries and independent accounts. We've expanded into some of the more chain stores as time has gone on, as does the market demands. But we have really been focusing on the breweries, like more the niche breweries that are smaller batch, more craft focused, and that's really been our bread and butter.
So you're in the maybe air traffic controller tower. You're seeing all the trucks that need to go all over the state of Maine.
Yep.
You're seeing all the all the suppliers.
Yeah.
How do you manage that day to get to happiness for everybody? That's a lot.
Do have a lot of help.
Yeah.
I have a couple supervisors under me, and the reps, the sales reps, they're kind of mediators between me and the drivers.
Compliance in the beer industry is very important in the sense that it's a federally regulated and a state regulated substance. Obviously everybody knows you have to be 21 or older to consume alcohol. Beyond that, as a consumer, as a wholesaler, we need to make sure that every product we have here meets all of the criteria, not only for the federal government, but for the state of Maine. So I work directly with BABLO, the Bureau of Alcoholic Beverage and Lottery Operations, to make sure that all of our paperwork is in line with statutes, so that they have an understanding of what it is we have in stock for inventory, what we're putting out into the market. That way, if there's ever a review done, either in the field or here at our warehouse, everything's in line so that we are as on top of our game as possible.
Yeah, so I started here as a driver and kind of like an overnight picker, and then kind of went into a logistics role, and then the bigger and bigger we got, you know, John needed some help with brands, and that's something I was passionate about, and that's something I expressed to Nick and John, and here we are.
Do you see a talent, like, are you kind of like maybe a talent scout for rising product?
I think that's definitely a good comparison. But yeah, like always on the lookout for new beer styles and where the market's going. Like, you know, sour beer kind of the last few years has really stepped up, and finding brands who do that is difficult, and finding brands who do it in cans is difficult. So that's been something. And then we're seeing, you know, traditional beer style come back, like lagers and pilsners. So that stuff is like, yeah, that's a great comparison. So always on the lookout for that.
Active duty military, are you locked and loaded on your civilian life career plans? Military spouses, have you found a career that travels with you? Veterans, are you on a path of passion and purpose? The secret to your career success and happiness is all about fit. Learn how to customize your career to your powerfully unique talent, passion, purpose, and values. Control your own destiny by launching your own business. Order these books now on Amazon or visit veteransplaybook.com.
What's the most undervalued veteran assets as an entrepreneur? Like things that maybe you take for granted, or maybe you don't even think are valuable, but in the entrepreneur journey.
We know how to take care of people. You know, I think that's really underrated. Leadership, I don't know, you just know how to put other people in front of you. And a lot of people in the civilian world don't know what to do with that, I think, sometimes. And they don't maybe believe your authenticity and, no, this is real, I care about you, and I'm gonna take care of you. So I think we're really good at that, and it's way more powerful than I ever thought it was gonna be, you know? I think it's why our people stay with us, because we take care of them. So just that leadership and that knowing how to be part of a team, how to be that servant leader, be that person, I think it's huge, and it's something that's more rare out in the civilian world, and it seems more common from where we come from.
One piece that I watched you bring from your military experiences is how you made and continue to make this group of employees and people really a family unit. I think one of the really key pieces that you brought is from, you know, when you're in the squadron, you all have to be really upfront about what's going on, what's happening, where are the dangers, where are the pitfalls, so that we can fix it and then avoid it. You do that with your team. You share a lot about the depths of what is going on in the business and where we're headed, where you want to go, where you see the company going.
Telling the people the why, I think, is really important. We do share more information probably than most business owners do with our team, so they can understand what they're doing and why. It's also, I think, this is what people from the military do. You have a goal, a target, and you backwards plan from there. And the veterans have all the tools.
And it sounds like very entrepreneurial, that you have a growing comfort with uncertainty or ambiguity or managed balancing risk? And
yeah, because especially in aviation, military as a whole, but you plan a lot and you think a lot, you practice a lot, and so you're very analytical, and I think that helps in business way more than people know coming out of the military. Like, you have a skill set that is incredibly valuable and also kind of rare, shockingly. To be able to sit down and look at problems and understand what you can control and how you can practice and how you can mitigate threats. There are threats in business that are just different than the threats you face when you're flying or you're doing your job in the military. But I think that kind of training that you get from the military sets you up well to run a business. Doing hard things and going through hard training, and you have a tolerance for stress in stressful situations. It allows you to also, I think, focus on what's important. Like I said, we're not curing cancer or saving lives, we're delivering beer, so that helps you take some of the stress out of decisions. Another good thing about the Marine Corps and aviation and the military is you are comfortable having very direct conversations with people, which is also a tough skill. And I think veterans have that. And business, you need that. You need to have a very blunt conversation with people sometimes, whether it's a business partner or an employee. It's not for everybody, but if you think it is, you give it a shot, because you got one kind of go at this life. And you have way more resources and capabilities in you than you think. You come out of the military and maybe you're not as confident as you were because you're in a completely different environment now. But you have the tools, and if you don't have them, you know how to get them. So if you're thinking about it, I would say just go for it and try. You may fail. Most of the companies do fail. I've seen partners fail. It's really hard, but it's also really, really rewarding.
Yes, so as you said, failing is easy.
Yeah.
It's the success that takes the grind.
Yeah.
Can you talk about Vacationland culture?
From the beginning, I think that was a benefit of my MBA program, was to think more accurately about culture in business, because the Marine Corps just has it. You are instilled in you from day one, that culture, so it just becomes part of you. But the MBA helped me really think about, okay, how do we want to have our culture in this organization? For us, it's always been about taking care of people, trusting them, empowering them, and having fun. We sell beer,
Right.
It's always, everybody's happy to see the beer guy, right? So the people who come to our industry want to be a part of that industry. They want to be in the beer scene. They want to be involved in the service industry. So that helps as well. Cool.
You need to trust each other. We need to trust that everyone's going to pick up where the other one leaves off. Instead of making people do things coming in and when they're a little bit sick or if they have a family issue, we do our best to try to cover for them. Once in a while, you might not be able to, but it's always a negotiation. And we're always working with each other to make sure that everything is done and we can all maintain a balance in our life.
And that's one of the great things about working here is that, a lot of places I've been before, you're just an employee working for somebody. Here, I don't feel like I work for somebody. I feel like I work with somebody.
I've told my people here, I want to be the first person you call to let me know you're leaving so I can write your recommendation letter. All my people know that I will answer references in HR departments. That giving back, that giving to them, just empowers me.
Vacationland is truly a family. It's, we have fun, but it's serious, but yeah, I just love it here. I can't imagine doing anything else. Really, truly, honestly, can't imagine doing anything else.
So you're getting paid 3 times. You're getting three paychecks every 2 weeks, whatever. You're getting your W-2 paycheck, right? you're getting your passion
Yep.
paycheck,
Yep.
right? And you're getting your purpose.
Yeah, exactly.
Right?
Like,
holy cow.
it's great. Yeah,
Yeah.
it is. It's been kind of feel like everyone's dream to do what you love for work, right? So I feel just incredibly lucky to have found that.
Like this industry as well is all about the people for me, you know, alcohol aside and all that stuff. The reason I think we still do this to this day is the relationships and the people. And Nick and I's relationships is one of those relationships that keeps me coming in here every day.
Do you think the path of the entrepreneur is something more veterans should explore?
I do, but it's hard and it's scary, and but can open a door in your life that doesn't exist anywhere else. So if you're kind of willing to take that risk, you should do it. You should find something that speaks to you and that gets you excited, and then go do it. And then in 5 years, when you've been grinding your face off, you may wake up and have a door open to you in a lifestyle that never would be there working for a huge company. I've done that. I've worked for 2 large companies, and they were great. They're good to their people, but the freedom you get if you can make it, and every year you're just trying to make it, I think it's very similar for me, the independence and pride I felt in the military.
I hope you are inspired by this amazing veteran venture story. Whether you're an active duty veteran or military family member, starting your own business is a great dream. We hope you're inspired to act now, pursue this passion and purpose, and by doing so, move our world to a better place. We are Veterans Playbook. Until next week, I'm Mike Caslin.
Yeah.